Okay, I'm going to try again. I have that new tripod, and Miss Karma seems to think every time I sit down here to talk that she's supposed to come over and rub against the tripod. That doesn't work very well. Anyway, I stuck it up on top of a TV tray, and we'll see if she can stop not knock into that. Alright, I had somebody ask if I would show the paper testing I did for fountain pen friendly paper. And the reason I was looking for fountain pen friendly paper is I've been making these for a couple of years and using these for letters, call them my book cards, but they're just like a pamphlet style, you know, half sheets put together. And then I make my own writing guides. And as you can see, with some paper, and all of these papers I have in here I bought at Office Max years ago. Some of them it's a little more difficult to try and see the writing guide, and other ones are really nice. And out of all the papers from Office Max that I had before, I had a heavyweight paper that was 32 pounds, and that seemed to work the best with fountain pens. But anyway, they'll get to that. Now, the first thing I did was I made a couple of orders for sample papers from ninapaper.com. It's in Minneapolis, and they're 8.5 by 11. And when they sell them, there's 5. You can get a lot of different. Gosh, I think it's 5,000 is a regular ream, as I recall. But you can get like 5,000 sheets or whatever. They have different sizes, but the 500 sheets run anywhere, depending on which one type you're buying, 35 to 60. I think some might have been a little more than that for 500 sheets, which isn't bad, because Office Max, what I was buying was their Southworth brand that you find there, and like the parchment paper, which I'll show you, was a lot cheaper because that was 500 sheets for around $30. But the premium weight 32-pound business paper or resume paper is 250 sheets for like $30. So I mean, 500 for even, you know, $60 isn't any more expensive than at Office Max. The only advantage to Office Max is if you spend $50, you don't have to pay shipping. Okay, on Nina Papers, the reason I checked them out and found them online was I had heard, I was snooping around online, and they said that this crane paper was supposed to be some of the best paper. And it's all of it was really nice. But I got a bunch of different samples, as you can see, from Nina Paper, and they all come very nicely like this. Then what I did is I cut them in half, because that's how I use them in my book cards. And then I kind of jotted in pencil on the back, you know, which paper I was testing out. And I got together all my papers to see how things would go. And I took this sheet of white here because you can kind of see, like if it's just up near, it will show you more if you lay it against a lighter background as to how much of it shadows through, or if there's bleeding. And one of the things I did notice was Noodler's Bernanke Blue is a notoriously hard ink to find a paper for, because it wants to bleed through everything. If I would have known that, I probably never would have bought a bottle, because it wants to go through everything. And then the big test is like your parallel pens, which are a lot thicker. that was a good test, but you can see how that's just wanting to bleed through. And this is Nina. It's Crane's 28-pound imaging white. And this one's classic cotton, 25%, 28-pound classic natural white wove, W-O-V-E, from Nina. And that's not bad, because I mean, it isn't that often you're going to be using really bigger calligraphy pens, and the Bernanke blue wasn't too bad on this. And this is Crane's 28-pound ivory, and yet that was getting bleed through, and yet it's 28 pounds like the other one. So that's what I mean. It's like I have to test them for myself. And this is a 24-pound classic linen by Nina, and that had bleed through also, and a lot of shadowing. And this one is Environment Vellum in Aspen from Nina. It's kind of a recycled paper. I believe it's got little specks and stuff in it, but that was not all that good, as you can see. A lot of shadowing and a little bit of bleed through. And the better ones were, here's Nina's, this is Crane's Crest 28-pound natural white wove from Nina, and that's pretty darn good. I mean, I don't even count Bernanke blue. I mean, it's just such a pain that I kind of don't even look at it. But the parallel pens didn't even bleed through or anything on there. This is just a smudge. And this one is Crane Bond 24-pound ivory. So this is only 24 pounds. It's the imaging paper. And I mean, you can see a lot of shadowing, but there isn't bleed through on this, even with the parallel pens or anything. So that's a pretty good one. And this is, I don't know how you say that, EAMES, painting, writing, natural white vellum, 24 pounds. They're natural white. Certainly looks like tan to me, but this was really good. Although when you write on paper that's quite dark, it actually changes the color of some of the inks. Okay, then this is back to Office Max, and this is the parchment paper, and I'll show you. I lucked out on this because I ordered the whole big box, 500 sheets for 30 bucks. Southworth. Southworth. Whoops, now I'm bumping the camera. But anyway, and this does come in a couple of colors, I guess, too. This is just supposed to be ivory, but I think it has a blue and a gold, and they're all the same price. But not counting Bernanke blue, it was very good on everything. So I lucked out on that one, and because I hadn't ever bought the parchment paper before. So that worked out really well. I have some of that. And then this one I knew that I liked, but I wasn't sure I wanted to buy a whole box of it because I was hoping to find something better. And this is the smaller 32 pound. It's 32 pound weight ivory, Southworth. And then when it's the bigger one, they don't call it resume paper. Then they call it something like heavyweight or whatever it is, premium weight. Yeah. I bought a small box of that. And